Why are you over there?
I'm farting and it smells like a crop yard.
You want to say hi, Pete? Want to say hi? You want to say hi to the people? Rolling. We're always wearing black and necklaces. Hi, welcome back to our channel. I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Jake.
In today's video, we're going to be answering some questions that you guys asked us on Instagram, and we're going to answer them and just share our opinions and our straightforward answers on them. Just a disclaimer, these are our opinions and our beliefs and our values, so if you don't agree, that is totally okay. It's not just our way or the highway. This is just what we believe. So, here we go. First question. We're gonna jump right into it. Are you ready?
Go for it. Hit me with it.
What made you guys realize you wanted to settle down so young?
So this is a big question, in my opinion. Personally, I wouldn't even view what's going on. I mean, I'm 23, almost going to be 24 in July, and I wouldn't even view my life as settling down. I think a lot of people have a preconceived notion and conception in their head that once they get married, things slow down. You have to hit slow motion. You're going to have kids. Your whole life is behind you. Me personally, obviously there are some practical things that happen in your life. If you do have kids, things slow down. I'm having the time of my life. I haven't changed a bit. And you can ask, I don't know, what do you think? Have I changed? No, I haven't changed a bit. And I have fun. Still fun loving. I'm easygoing. We laugh 100% of the time, all the time. So I think that question is like, what made you want to settle down so early? If it's in the context of why did I want to get married so early? Quite honestly, growing up, I thought I'd probably be married in like 26, 27. You know how everyone scouts that out when they're in high school. Yeah, I'm going to get married in the late 20s, the early, towards my 30s. I'm going to live all this life. But honestly, all that goes out of the window when you run into the person that literally is drop dead gorgeous and you love inside and out. And you don't want to waste a moment. You don't want to waste a moment. You want to spend every part of that
and honestly,
with that person. We
probably would have married each other sooner in our situation in particular, because we've known each other since we were pretty young, since we were kids. And the reason we had a longer engagement was because we wanted to not go into debt to start out our marriage, and we wanted to have everything paid off.
We were broke.
But I think when people ask this question of settling down, they're assuming that we miss out on our 20s, like drinking and partying and hanging out with all your friends. But the thing is we weren't really big partiers or drinkers anyway. Just because we didn't enjoy it very much. Not that we're against it, we just didn't enjoy it very much. And we still have so much fun. We hang out with our friends who are in our life. We choose friends who want to run with us for life. And I don't consider people getting drunk together and being stupid together my friends. So, yeah, I guess, is there anything else?
Yeah, I think also to hit a point on this is a lot of people say, why didn't you wait, date more years and wait till you guys, were older to get married? Why so young? And I remember something my brother told me one time when we were actually dating for years, a couple years in, and my brother was like, dude, when are you going to put a ring on it? And I was like, oh, we're just waiting, man. I want to finish this fire academy.
We wanted to finish college.
I want to get my EMT done. And he was like, don't you know it's so much better to celebrate achievements together when you guys are engaged? You get to share those dreams and visions when you're engaged, and even more so when you're married. And I was like, man, that totally makes sense. And then I popped the question. And I'll tell you, man, if you know you have the love of your life and the one you want to spend the rest of your days with, and not one in a million, but one in a lifetime, your heart will do anything to have that person to want for your rest of your life. And that's what I did. I didn't want to waste another second. It wasn't worth it to me. So I jumped on it. I made sure I popped the question and
we were sure. On to the next question. We haven't, I read some of the questions, but we haven't practiced our answers or anything because we wanted it to be
raw and organic.
Yeah, and straightforward and genuine. Next question. How many kids do you want? On the count of 3. We'll say our answer. Ready? Hold on, let me think.
Oh my God.
Okay.
You talk about them every day.
On the count of 3. 1, 2,
3.
7.
3.
I said only count of 3.
See, 7 kids, that's
I'm
one
just
for
kidding.
every day of the week. Even God took a rest day.
Okay, I don't really want 7 kids. I'm just kidding. I think we...
Here's one right here. Want to see it? Come here. Come here, weirdo. Here's our first one.
Yeah. Hey, baby.
You, speak for yourself here.
I want kids so bad.
She wanted kids yesterday. And I told her, honey, we need to go Cabo.
Okay.
Relax.
I think we both want 3 kids. And then when our kids are becoming adults, we want to think about adoption. Because adoption was always a desire of my heart growing up. And it was on his heart as well when we were growing up. But when you're in the situation and it's actually time to like really think about how many kids you want and like how you want to raise them, it's like, I don't know, your desires change and like how you think it'll go, it doesn't go that way, and I don't know. So there's a lot to consider, but definitely 3. I think I might want 4.
I'm so fascinated with adoption because it literally parallels Christianity in such an amazing way that I can have the opportunity to take a kid out of poverty and give them a life that they never dreamed of. Mm-hmm. And when I think about how that relates to me, that's exactly what Jesus did to me. I was lost. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know who I was going to be, but Jesus came and snatched me with his grace. And he told me, hey, Jake, you're going to be powerful. You're going to be chosen and you belong in a place. And I call you my son. And that's amazing. I want to adopt because I just have the heart of God on that. Like he did that for me, adopted me into his spiritual family. And I think, man, what better of a way to show God's love than to give another child a whole different life than they ever could have thought of and to transform their life. And that's why I'm very curious about adoption. Also, I want my own and I want our own. Definitely a boy and a girl, but honestly, I just want healthy babies beyond anything else.
Then a follow-up question is, when do we want children? And I'll answer this one.
Go for it.
So when we were engaged, this answer changed a lot. We wanted to wait 6 months
nightly,
to a year.
All the nightly. And
then a year to 2 years. Well, we got married when I was 21 and you're 23. And now I'm 22. And I have wanted to be a mom my entire life. Like, it is such a big desire of my heart to be a mother. Yeah. So sometimes when I'm thinking it with that perspective, I'm like, I want a kid right now. Because my heart misses the children that I
It doesn't help that we have nieces and nephews running up the walls everywhere we go.
But I want to be a mother so bad. So sometimes I'm like, I want to start trying now. But when I think about it, like, I am not ready to share my husband yet. I want to travel a little bit, and of course we want to travel with our kids one day as well. But I think ideally we'll wait probably another year or so, because we definitely want to be in a house first and have a dog. I want a dog. Yeah?
Yeah, I think that's good. This is a topic of conversation every night.
Yeah, we talk about it a lot. We want kids so bad, and we're going to be great parents.
And we also know that we're going to be great parents, but something that really, when I asked a lot of people about when they got married and how much they waited, they said, take your time to take the time with your wife. Take a year or two. And honestly, I think that's so smart, because you're still learning how to communicate, still how to live together, still how to work together. What is this person's desires, what this person's desires, and how do we collaborate those? And you get to learn each other. So I still think that there's a time of learning in that first year to two. And, you know, I'm selfish. I want you for as long as I can without kids. And then when the kids come, I'm going to love the heck out of them too and give them the world. But I already have my world right now, so I'm in no rush. God is good.
What is our favorite memory together before and after marriage?
Before and after marriage. Dang, you gotta give me some seconds to think about this. Before marriage, our favorite moments together. All right, so before marriage, my favorite moment with her was traveling all across the world to Romania.
That's a good one.
You really don't know somebody until you're on the other side of the world with them.
And on a 12-hour flight with them.
Yeah, and
that was hard.
And when the hostess is hitting your knee, with the food cart, and you get no sleep
On the
because everyone
airplane.
wants Sprite every second of the day. It really
And with,
pushes
like,
your buttons.
The time changes going from place to place was really hard.
But anyways, my favorite before marriage is Romania, and I'll tell you why is because I got to see, first off, her in moments of stress and out of her environment that she's usually in within the United States. And I got to see her heart even more illuminated than it already is for children on the other side of the world. And we were just put in so many different situations and pressure situations that you would have never even thought of. And I just saw God
on a different
enlightened
level.
me and showed me how amazing she is. It honestly confirmed it, but that was my favorite trip, just to go across the world with you before we were married. That was mine. What about yours?
We had a lot of fun when we were dating.
Okay, what was it?
I don't know. I want to say our first kiss, but that's so silly.
Okay. I thought it was pretty dope myself.
Honestly, we're allowed to have the same. I think Romania was the best thing, and probably don't even know what we're talking about. We went on a missions trip with our previous church we were at, and we visited all of the gypsy villages and transitional homes, and that was the best for the same reasons as you. So that's my favorite too. Favorite memory after marriage?
Well, after marriage, we had plans to go
change.
vacations and go to Cabo, and we planned to travel, and then what hit? Quarantine.
Corona. What is one specific memory after marriage? Obviously our wedding night.
That was fun. Man, that's hard because we've been locked in the house.
I don't know, moving in, holidays. There's
think
so
my favorite
many.
memory-
That's such a hard question.
Yeah, I think just living with you and being
Yeah.
waking up
But
to you
that's
every
not
day
memory.
is.
Don't burp while you're talking. Okay, next question.
Wait, you didn't tell yours.
That's too hard to answer.
Okay.
This one's fun. What nicknames do you have for each other? I call him Honey. I'm trying to think if there's any other specific names.
She calls me Big Dog.
No. Don't say that. I do not.
I call her my love, honey.
Just
babe.
basic
Yeah.
marriage names. How did you know you were ready to be married?
You answer the first one. I answered the last one first.
Okay. It was the same thing as your brother. Shout out to Josh Gallagher. Before we were engaged, he told me that he was in the car with his brother Josh, and he was just talking to him about marriage because he was planning his proposal. And Josh said, my biggest regret about marriage, about marrying my wife, is not doing it sooner. And when he came home and told me that, because we were like stressing in school and like thinking about all these things we wanted to check off our to-do list before we got married, and something about that saying just brought me so much peace. And I was like, I am ready to marry you. I know I love you. I don't feel like I need to wait. I don't feel like I need to play house and move in with you to picture what our life will be together. We're best friends. We've known each other since we were little kiddos.
5th grade.
Since the 5th grade, and we were always friends. And I think that being friends is probably
Best friends.
the best thing you can do for your relationship, for your marriage, because
That's the groundwork.
our friendship is like my favorite part about our relationship. Obviously, he's my lover, my husband, all these amazing things, but he is my friend and I trust him. And I don't know, I don't think there's a moment where you're like, oh, I'm ready for marriage. I think you just grow together and you just, I don't know. Was there a moment for you that you just knew?
Mine was after out of college. I played college baseball, and a pivotal moment in my life where everything kind of shifted for me was when I gave baseball up and I joined ministry school. In this ministry school, it showed me who I was, and in the midst of this ministry school, I got healthy, whole, and free. And what I mean by that is all the sin in my life I got rid of. All of the lies in my life I got rid of. Every corner in my heart that I never revealed to people, I opened it up for God's light to shine on it. And at the first time, I can tell I'm healthy, whole, and free. And when I married somebody, I didn't want to have things going on inside of my heart that weren't taken care of and brought before God before that. And me knowing that I was free and whole and made right with God gave me the confidence to know that, hey, I'm going to go for my wife now and search for my wife.
This one's fun. What is your go-to coffee order? You tell them mine and I'll tell them yours.
Okay, easy
From
one.
Starbucks.
Okay, I'll
That's
give
where we
you.
usually go.
I'll give you the rundown of our whole relationship. So when I first came around, she liked I'm gonna tell them everything. She liked a venti iced caramel macchiato upside down, no whip. She didn't really.
Ew.
She liked that at the beginning.
know,
As
I
we
hate
progressed,
that.
probably a year and a half into it, she switched it up. Man, I'm good for knowing this. This is crazy.
He worked at
I used to
Starbucks.
bring her the drinks. That's why.
He brought me
That was
free
my-
drinks. Oh, will that get you in trouble? Well, he worked at Starbucks when we were first dating, which I didn't mind because he brought me drinks at the end of his shifts.
Yeah.
So he memorized my order.
Venti iced caramel macchiato upside down in the beginning. Once we got halfway into a relationship, it was about probably it went from probably that to a grande iced vanilla latte.
It's gonna be the longest answer ever.
And then it went into a grande cold brew, maybe like 6 months ago, vanilla sweet cream. And now the past like 3 or 4 weeks, it's changed into a grande triple shot on ice, 4 pumps vanilla, no whip with 2%. Oh my gosh. Cue the drum roll.
And he likes the grande vanilla sweet cream cold brew. Right?
That's good.
Oh, lately he's been getting iced white mocha. It's kind of, I know, we're just basic. I think nothing beats morning coffee from the coffee pot. Nothing fancy schmancy. Coffee
I've been
pot.
drinking black coffee lately. That's crazy, but it's great.
Who are your biggest role models? This is a great question.
Mine's easy. All day.
LeBron.
Heck no. LeBron's the GOAT, though.
Go ahead.
You want to go first? Do you want to hit it? All right, my role model, and let me tell you how
Jesus.
blessed and fortunate enough I am to say this, because I know there's a lot of people in this life that are not able to say this, but I will tell you the best man and the most influential man that has stayed true and impacted me, and I have several pastors that I look up to, but mostly is my father, Dennis Gallagher.
He's the best
my dad,
man ever.
It's hard to even find wrong in him sometimes because of.
If you know him, you know. That's
if you
pretty
know
much,
my dad, you know he's
yeah.
a saint.
Even
He's
if you
amazing.
just run into him at a grocery store, like you just know. He's just the sweetest man. That's a great answer.
He's my role model. He loves well. He loves deeply. His patience is crazy. Don't know how he does it. His heart is for the Lord at all times.
Yeah.
That's his priority, whether he's at work, whether he's wherever he's at. He's always releasing the kingdom. And he just led so well and taught me how to be the man that I am today. And I'm forever thankful for that. And to even be half the man he is I'm going to strive for that.
Yeah, he's the best. Would it be silly to say Jesus? Because I want to be like Jesus.
Tell him about Jesus. Tell him about Jesus at least then. Why?
Okay. I want to be like Jesus because
Sounds like a ministry plug.
because he's perfect, and not because I want to be perfect, but because I want to love well, and I want to be consistent and patient and always growing and kind and all the things that love represents.
What about him that he displays about his nature that you look up to? What do you look up to that he does or has done for you?
Being a good father, which obviously I'm not going to be a father, but I want to be a good mother. Next question. Where did you go on your honeymoon? 1, 2, 3. Tahoe.
Genovia.
Okay, technically we were in Genoa, which is like 20-30 minutes out of South Lake Tahoe, like the downtown area, but we were in Tahoe. He kept calling it Genovia. And if you know what that's from, comment down below.
And we'll give you a prize. Just kidding.
It's from Princess Diaries, if you don't know.
Yeah,
Next question. Where do you see yourselves in 5 years? What?
We're going to tell them about our honeymoon?
No, they just want to know
Okay.
where we went. We don't
For
even
sure.
know the details. You know what happened.
True.
Where do you see yourselves in 5 years?
I can tell you what she's going to say.
Okay. So
Can I tell her what you're
I
going
got
to say
this.
before you tell them?
I got this.
Okay, you got it.
We all know
Cool.
I want kids. In 5 years, we will have a golden retriever, at least 2 kids, probably pregnant with the third, maybe.
Okay.
We'll see how that goes. And I don't want to say our dream home because I'm open to God sending us somewhere, but definitely in a house, even if we don't.
That'd be nice.
Even if it's not our dream house. Hopefully we'll be
Well,
out of the
I hope we're
apartment
living in
by
the
then.
house.
He'll definitely be in his career by then, and I don't know, maybe I'll start my own business from home because I want to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, that's my biggest dream.
Yeah.
If you know me, you know.
I'd probably say the same thing.
Whoa.
Piggyback on that. I think we'll at least have 2 or 3 kids in 5 years, maybe 2. Probably wait a little bit after
Probably
that second
2.
one.
Yeah.
A dog. That dog will probably be coming sooner than you think.
What do you mean by that?
I don't know. We'll see. And
Honey.
yep,
Be
we'll
nice
have a
to be in
family.
our
We'll have
dream
kids.
home.
We'll be in a home. We'll be involved in ministry probably very deeply, and
Hopefully.
traveling the world.
That's a
what
lot
I'd say.
in 5 years.
That's a lot of good stuff.
What are your dream occupations? I don't think I have a dream occupation.
Yeah, you do. Full-time mom, baby.
I want to be a full-time mom, but that's not something you get paid for. So an
Yeah,
occupation.
you do. You get paid with love.
Okay.
Enjoy.
I really enjoy working in the wedding industry. So I don't know, maybe like if we ever buy a home with land, with property, then I think opening up a wedding venue for small weddings or ceremonies would be really, really cool. Because I love weddings. I love marriage. And yeah, that would be really cool.
Yeah. I'll probably say something that most people probably won't think about.
Okay.
Currently, I'm a safety professional, so I do that currently on big contractor projects. I have a passion to speak across the nation. I want to be a speaker, and I want to bring the goodness of God and proclaim the goodness of God to the nations and everybody I come in contact with, but also just on a platform of speaking to people, which I think will come in due time. But honestly, beyond all that stuff, I remember being in a group session one time, camping, and everyone was going around the circle of the fire asking what they're going to be.
Oh, yeah.
And one of the persons said, I'm going to cure cancer. That was awesome. Another person said, I'm going to get my master's degree in physics. The other one, I'm going to be a doctor. All these amazing things. And this is how I've always thought growing up. And they pointed to me and said, hey, Jake, what do you want to be when you grow up? I said, hey, I want to be the best father on the face of the earth. And it's like the crickets started going. I was like, But no, man, I want to be the best father on the face of the earth. And that's what I want to do. I want to raise my kids to love the Lord, but be 10 times greater than I could ever been myself. And that's what's going to bring me pleasure. All the other things I'm good at, shoot, I'll be excellent at it. I'm going to do my best and strive for it. But as like I said then, I'll say it again. I want to be the best father on the face of the earth.
We're going to answer the next few questions short answers because they're very big questions, and they're actually, for me personally, they're a huge part of my testimony, and they're a pretty big part of his testimony as well. So These next two questions are...
Hit him with it.
One of them is kind of an all-in-one, dealing with past relationships and jealousy. To keep it short, you have to be honest and straightforward from the start. You cannot get engaged and then talk about all of your past relationships and all the people you have slept with and all the people you have given your heart to and bring that into an engagement. That's no way to start a relationship, no way to start a marriage. That's like, I don't know, that's like starting your marriage underwater. Trust, obviously, trust and communication are the two most important things, I'd say, about marriage, about any relationship, about any healthy relationship. So as far as dealing with past relationships, you deal with them from the start. You be honest, and you love the person through it if they're still healing, which in our case, I was. And you pray and you get through it, and you fight for what you want. So to keep it short, yeah. And how do we deal with jealousy? I don't get jealous.
Don't put yourself in a
Other
position
girls,
for
'cause he's my
jealousy to
husband.
occur.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that, when you get married, this is not just some big party that you get to have with your family and hoop-de-hoop. You guys look good together. You guys are a power couple. You guys look so good together on Instagram. all that stuff, man, wipe it away, wash it away, get it out of your mind, because that's not what success is. Instagram and social media, you guys are getting the highlights of people's life. You're getting all the good stuff, but you don't know behind that screen, behind that closed door, they're suffering with depression. They're locked into a life of pornography. They're going through, thoughts of suicide. Their lives tearing from them.
Things.
You got to go through real things, and you got to evaluate yourself and take inventory about, man, what is life really about? And the real thing is that when you're ready for marriage, I never needed a woman. And personally in my life, when growing up, I didn't really date in high school. People that went high school with me knew that. I didn't date in college because I wanted to be focused on what God had for me. And I never needed her to come fulfill a hole in my heart so that I could feel full. No, all she did, and it's the most amazing thing, is she added to my life. Mm-hmm. I was secure in who I was, completely and fully secure in who I was. But I saw something that was so amazing that, man, I need that. I want that part of my life. What can we build together? It would be beautiful. Mm-hmm. It wasn't like I have this gap in my heart, loneliness, please fill it. I need you. Yeah. Real thing is, don't fall for the facade of what's posted and seen.
Back to the question about past relationships, with going off what he said, we didn't have to deal with too much baggage from his life because, like he said, he chose to set himself apart and wait for his wife, which is me. So there wasn't a whole lot of
not a lot of
crap
guys do that. So sorry. Sorry, I meant to not cocky. I'm just saying that's a profound thing. It was not a cocky statement.
He's right.
But
Nobody does that. Who does
it was
that?
Very hard for me, and it's very few and far between.
Yeah, which we'll talk about as well, waiting for marriage. But so yeah, saying that, like, we didn't have to deal with a whole lot of stuff on his end, as far as past relationships. But if you know us, you know we have not always been together. So yeah, we had to work on a lot. And I would just say my best advice for anyone getting in a relationship, or if you're single and you're praying for your future spouse, you better be prepared to talk about the ugly things. You have to. And if they can't accept you for who you are, bye. I knew it was going to be so hard to talk to him about my baggage.
It was a heavy bag.
It was a heavy load, and he loved me through it, and he had questions, and he had emotions because I'm his wife, and he knew I was going to be his wife. So yeah, be honest from the get-go.
Define your relationship. If you're going to get into a relationship, just make sure that you're ready, that your heart is in check. You love yourself first, because at the capacity that you love yourself is going to be at the same capacity that you can give that to the other person.
Yes.
So
I did not love myself at all, which will be part of my testimony video. But I did not love myself at all when he first came around. So it was.
I would give her compliments, and it was like crickets. I'm like, hey.
It was literally impossible for us to be in a healthy relationship in the beginning because I didn't love myself. He was confident, and he was. He knew his identity in Christ, and he was ready for a healthy relationship from the beginning, and I wasn't. So that is why we talked or went through the talking stage for
too long.
9 months before.
Too long. Don't ever put a guy through that, girls. Don't ever. It's hard. But if he sticks to it, he's a real one.
So I feel like some of the questions we got, if you asked a question and we didn't answer it, it's probably because there's so much depth to that question. We'll probably do a whole separate video on the topic.
Yeah. Because
this video is probably already getting pretty long. So how was it when we first moved in together?
Well,
it was awesome.
I moved in first. She didn't come in until after we got married.
Yeah. We didn't live together
all
until
the men
after
of God
marriage.
out there, that's the right thing to do. Don't move in together before marriage and say, we're going to get married. We're going to be just fine. Trust me.
Because you get comfortable.
Oh, yeah.
You guys ask good questions. There's a lot of depth in them. But we waited till marriage to move in together. We knew we didn't want to play house and get comfortable and see how it is living with someone new. It's going to be hard no matter what. There's going to be challenges no matter what. If you live together for 6 months and then get married, or if you get married and then live together, it's going to be challenging. It's new, but it's exciting. So that was something that I was definitely looking forward to, was living with you.
So how was it? For me, personally,
it's easy.
People say that the first year of your marriage will be the hardest, and you better be watching out. If you get married when you're young, oh my gosh, your life's gonna go to hell.
Oh my God.
That's what we got told when we were getting engaged, because I guess we were somewhat young, and I agree we are fairly young, but it's not about an age number, it's about a maturity level. And I'll say that to anybody that talks to me about getting married when you know. And your heart moving in together, it was getting into that, it was so much easier than I could have ever imagined. Actually, she's made things easier for me, and I hope I made things easier for you. But I think we just collaborate so well, and we work together so well. It's not about gender roles.
It's just fun and easy. Yeah. And when you're best friends with your spouse, I know that's so cliche, like, oh, I married my best friend. But like, then you hate each other behind closed doors. Like, this guy I have right here,
weirdo,
is the funniest person I've ever met. And he makes me laugh day and night. And that keeps it, what are you doing? And that keeps it fun. And I don't know, I think moving in together was so exciting, and it still is. Like, but we should have done it sooner.
Yeah, and when you're engaged, it's so hard, because like, you are with that person all day, and at the end of the day you gotta go home. It's like, why do I have to go home? It sucks so bad. For all engaged people, I'll be praying for you. But when you get married, it's just like, man, I wake up. Yeah, if you're waiting.
Are you gonna sneeze? I think so. Look at the light. It helps. Bless you.
What's up?
What was I saying?
Anyways.
We both lived with our parents up until we got married. So, we weren't paying a bunch of bills or anything, which is so nice. So that was a great way to save money too for our wedding. But anyway, so that made it much more exciting to come together and have our own place and make it our own. And when you're dating or engaged or whatever, have roommates and you live together and you get comfortable, and when you're engaged and you live together and it's like, well, we're practically already married, so why get married? Why spend the money on a wedding? No.
Earned it yet.
Boyfriends and girlfriends should not get husband and wife's privileges. Thank you, I forgot the word. And that's so huge.
And
going into a marriage.
At a certain age, when you're an adult and you're still living with your parents, you kind of have that point where you're like, man, you're itching to get out, and your life's changing to the point where you don't really agree with them in certain ways. So getting out of the house, that was refreshing in a sense. And then also moving from that stage of engagement to being married and now being with each other every day. So those two things, man, it's a world's difference. And I would say living together, and there was no steps back that were taken. It was just, here it is, we're forward.
When people ask me how a married life is, it's the best.
And this is a piece of advice that I want to give to you guys. I'm glad this was told to me before I got into marriage, is that don't let people force their experiences on you. And you're going to get a lot of that when you are pursuing a righteous and godly relationship, and also when you're younger of age, and also when people have been hurt so much through things that they went through. I want to encourage you, let your story be your story, and you are the author of what you create. Don't let people force their experiences on you. That's theirs. And God is going to work with them through that for them to overcome, but create your own. Live in the liberation of understanding you have freedom to create your own story, and don't not let those expectations and other people's things on you. Trust me, it'll free you of so much, and let your own experience become what it was made to be. Let your experience and God come into the situation and create the beautiful moments that you guys get to have. Don't let other people's projections and preconceived notions and experiences, don't let them vomit that on you. It's not worth it. You guys are worth much more than that.
And we're not perfect, and we have made plenty of mistakes along the way, and I made plenty of mistakes before he even came along, and we're not perfect, but I'm just preaching because I've learned from all of my mistakes, and and God's grace is so good. So anyway, I'm getting off topic. That'll be all for this video. Thank you guys for asking all those awesome questions. You guys are awesome. And of course, if there's any more questions that you want to ask based off our answers, or if there's a question you got from, I don't know, whatever, you can DM us on Instagram or comment down below, whatever you guys would like to do, and we'd be happy to further explain things if we need to. Hopefully we did a good job in the video.
I'm excited because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of things that we want our breakthrough to come from our hearts and become your breakthrough in your lives. And there's so much things that we've gone through separately, individually, and also together that we want to release to you guys. And I have some things I'm gonna get vulnerable about, I think, in the future videos that we do, and about my testimony, the things that I have overcome as a man, and things that I had to put into the light to be exposed, which was very hard at first, but in the end, it was the most liberating thing you could do.
And I just want to say, I guess as a disclaimer, the reason we're making this isn't because we think we have a perfect marriage, or because we think, or we think that we're higher than anyone else, but it's more so, it's kind of like, I wish I would have had these kind of videos to watch when we were dating, or even before he came along, just to feel inspired that love, true love, and real healthy marriage is still out there, and it still happens. We hope you guys feel inspired by this in one way or another. And that's kind of our heart behind it, is just to inspire people and just be honest and vulnerable with you guys. And
I feel like you're not the only persons that go through these things. And like all the things that are unsaid in churches and unsaid in relationships. We want to keep it real with you guys. Come on, you got to talk about everything and bring it all out, and to become the best versions of yourself. And we're still learning at the same time. So we are not know-it-alls by any chance.
Thank you guys so much for sending in all those awesome questions, and for taking the time to watch our video. If you made it this far, thank you for just supporting us, I guess, and watching our videos. And we're excited to make our testimonial videos. And again, if there's any more questions you guys have, feel free to DM us or comment down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. And once again, we'll probably say this at the end of all of our videos, but if you guys have any prayer requests, or even praise reports, or anything that you guys would like prayer for, just comment down below, and we would be so happy to pray for you guys.
As we always say, and will continue to say, is that we're here to inspire you guys, inspire whoever may be watching, and bring hope into every situation, and unveil everything that needs to be talked about.
So we love you guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in our next video.
Sheesh.
Bye. Okay, I'll do it.